our first collective karmic cycle that's showing up for June 5th through June 8th. When we look at balancing the solar plexus chakra, I like to call this our action center. It is the seat of our ego, whereas the heart and high heart is the seat of our soul, right? And our the seat of our soul really governs our soul level personality and our true authentic path and behaviors and expression, right? Whereas the ego is all about the survival and keeping us safe, and it controls our power and our energy levels in order to act and respond to different things. So our first cycle that we're trying to break as a collective is really making sure that we're balancing that solar plexus and we are really stepping into full power. So you're going to be either showing up as overactive or underactive, right? Overactive is that classic toxic male traits where you're hyper aggressive or violent. You're very dominant, controlling, and trying to manipulate situations into your favor. You're trying to force things to go your way, right? Whereas the toxic feminine, the underactive, shows up as full of insecurities and self-doubt, passive, timid, not speaking up when things are bothering you, trying to make yourself small. When it's balanced, we show up in the divine feminine or divine masculine, which are right next to each other, right? So both sides of the same coin, in essence. And when you do that and you're able to harmonize and balance that, then you have traits of each side, but in a balanced way. So you're able to be compassionate and nurturing while still being assertive and confident, right? So if you think of the classic matriarch, she is in charge, she is nurturing and compassionate and able to respond from a space of inner calmness, right? While still being heard, and is very firm in her guidance and sharing her wisdom. So that's really kind of what we're working through this week specifically, but also going forward. So if you are having trouble with that solar plexus and taking new actions and feeling confident and secure within yourself, then it's important to really pay attention to those different traits and figure out where your balance is in the middle. And start to alter your choices and let go of any beliefs and behaviors that you've adopted and been conditioned into throughout your lifetime, and start to work to resolve those and release them so that you can move into the middle ground, right? So that being said, pay attention because you will feel lethargic. You will feel like your energy is just been sucked dry or zapped. You might be chronically in fight, flight, or freeze, and stuck in an amygdala hijack. Or you might be hyper aware, paranoid, and extremely distrustful if you're on the other side of that. Those are all symptoms and indications that we need to find that balance within our own self and our own power and really step into that and allow ourselves to be empowered. And when we're empowered, we're in power of ourselves and our choices and our behaviors, and we're not allowing past experiences or people to control us and influence how we're responding and how we're behaving in our day-to-day choices. So if you had a negative situation in the past and you had a negative lesson learned, like if you were in a relationship and someone cheated on you, you might learn to never trust anybody ever again. I hear that one a lot. Those are negative lessons learned. And then it influences your choices in your day-to-day where you're choosing to constantly question what other people say, and you're trying to check and make sure that they are being faithful and being honest and forthright with you and being transparent. And this causes a lot more distrust within those relationships. And we will create stories that change how we perceive reality. And we will start to tell ourselves that these different things don't add up. And we're basically creating these delusions in our mind. So looking at how those past experiences influence our current reality is going to be critical in being able to fully move into that empowered state and balancing that solar plexus chakra.